I'm gonna tell a little story. So, I was on the run at a felony warrant in Nevada, and my fiance at the time was, I want to say, 7 months pregnant. She's a type 1 diabetic from genetics. She just inherited it at a young age, and we were in a very stressful time. At any moment, I could be thrusted into jail and she wouldn't see me again, and we were trying to stretch it out to where I could see my son born. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So, anyhow, we were in my mom's house, which was a new thing. We were hopping couches because we couldn't hold our apartment anymore that we had due to my felony warrant and due to the fact that, we didn't want me going to prison. And she was really stressed out because we were like just getting to realize that, we're not going to be together anymore because it's just how it rolls. She's not going to wait for me while I'm in prison. And I still hadn't figured out my addiction at that point in my life. So, I don't blame her. But she forgot to take some insulin and went into diabetic ketoacidosis. And I'll never forget, she showed me the blood temperature reader. Sorry, the the blood sugar reader. Not the temperature. Sorry. The blood sugar reader. And she tested it as way, way bad. So we worked up a shot for her, hit her in the arm. I think it was both kinds, fast acting and slow acting, because it was just like, I can't remember honestly, but she told me what to do. And I drew it up, I did it. At that point back then I knew what to do, but it's been a long time, so I just haven't really been around people with diabetes in a long time. But anyway, she's starting to die, literally, with my son in her tummy, and the poor thing is, she's out of it real quick. I got her into my mom's car, and it's like a 45-minute drive to Reno, so I just stomp on the gas, pedal to the metal, racing, like I don't give a fuck about getting pulled over. And I jammed to the highway, jammed down the highway, going like 80, 90, average. And she, halfway there, she said good morning to me. And it was about 7 p.m. at that point. The sun was going down, so that's when I really knew I needed to keep it all the way down, keep the gas pedal going. So we continued on. I got her to the hospital, and I remember them looking at me like, what'd you do to this lady? It's like, fuck you. Save my girlfriend, or my fiance. And anyways, long story short, they took care of her, they stabilized her. My son was okay, she was okay, thank God. And they ended up moving her to a different hospital the next day. At the time we were fighting, and I wasn't gonna not see her, but it did take some convincing for me to go to the hospital, because I was just in shock and like didn't know how to feel about anything. I never expected that to happen. And you know how you just blame yourself for things, and I don't know, I just thought I was a piece of shit and that it was all my fault. And when I got there, I gave her a hug and a kiss, and we're talking, and the nurse says to me, the cops are outside and they want to have a word with you. And I looked at her and I said, well, this is goodbye. I love you. And it was sad. Yeah, it was really sad, but you know, it could be worse. She was stabilized for the last month of her pregnancy or whatever, and I think it was, yeah, the last month. And they took good care of her, racked up $1 million hospital bill for my son. And my boy was actually born in Utah. They moved her down, or she went with her parents to Utah and proceeded to have the baby down there. So he's doing really good now and stuff, and you know, we're friends, her and I, and yeah, it's something I had to work through. I never wanted to be her friend. I always wanted to be with her, but something you realize when you get older is that regardless of having kids or whatnot, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about what you want. It's all about the kid. And I mean, I'm more than happy that my son gets her every day, you know. It's the best thing he could have is her every day. She is the best mom, and I'll go to bat for my mom. You know, my mom she's a good mom, but Krista is that real mom stuff. You know, it's like somebody who realized that people were abusing them and treating them less than. It's like this ultimate comeback story with her, because when I met her, she didn't want to go to college, she didn't want to do anything with her life. We just wanted to be hippies and get high together, smoke weed and stuff, and you know, all the other fun stuff. But she's a paramedic now, and she's gonna go to school to be, you know, a dialed in paramedic, whatever that means. I don't know what the terminology is. I'm an idiot. But she's going to become, you know, like someone actually running the ambulance, and like I guess it would be called an EMT. But I don't know. It's nice to see her succeed, you know. And my son's doing great. I miss him. And more than ever, you know, I want to move down there now. Because I tell him life's not fair all the time, and I believe that. But the real injustice is me being away from my son.